Welcome, everybody. Woo!
Come on! Yeah!
Arsenal 1, Everton 0, everybody. And whether you like it or not, Arsenal have collected 3 points away at Goodison, something that they have not done in 6 years.
Long time.
Whether or not it was a game that you enjoyed watching or you thought was going to be comfortable or wasn't comfortable, we got the 3 points regardless. So I am happy. Did I see things that I liked during that match? Yes. Did I see things that I didn't like during that match? 100%. But yeah, we're going to get into it. But let me introduce my co-host with the most, my fellow American idiot, Dal. How you doing, brother?
I am ecstatic, TJ, because we absolutely dominated most of that game, and we came out with a 1-0. Brings me back to the old Arsenal days of the boring Arsenal. The 1-0, the Highbury, the library, piss off, 1-0. Tied for second. I don't care about goal differential. It's the 5th game of the season. I don't want to hear about goal differential. Shout out to the chat. Shout out, TJ. Up the Arsenal. Let's go. Trossard with the goal. Let's get it.
Unbelievable goal by Trossard. Great setup by Martin Odegaard and our star boy Bukayo Saka. That was an incredible passage of play. Looked great, but that was pretty much the only passage of play that I could say. Yeah, I mean it was really, really good. Obviously, the offside goal was also a good example. Fabio Vieira getting in a good through pass that got called back. So it is what it is. 1-0 to the Arsenal. I'm over the top excited just about the fact that we don't have to hear about drawing away to Everton, arguably the worst team in the Premier League, and having to defend the shambolic football like we did last season. Like, we got the win. It was extremely, I would say it was comfortable just because we controlled most of the play. We had one shot on net on David Raya. Raya took it easily. It was a freaking P-roller, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yep. Other than that, we controlled the balance of play, and we move on. What was your overall impressions of that match, John?
My overall impressions is pretty much like you've said too. It was good, but it wasn't great. It sort of met, I think, our expectations. I think we all knew that it was going to be, a battle in the middle of the park, and that's exactly what it was. And I don't know how Tchaikovsky, with his big ears, stayed on the pitch. To me, he should have had 2 yellow cards, But shout out again to Arteta. I got to shout out to Arteta.
You got to give Arteta flowers on this one.
He did make the right moves. We didn't see Ramsdale got a break, and we didn't see Shai Havertz in there. He put Vieira in, who most of us, I think, wanted. I wanted Admiral Smith-Rowe. Obviously, he hates that kid for whatever reason. Vieira got the start, and we looked like we were on fire from minute 1. I really thought we were going to score a goal in the first 15 minutes. I really thought the tempo was there. And obviously the tempo was there because we were without who?
Kai Havertz.
Exactly. So we all saw what we can do without Kai Havertz. The evidence speaks for itself. I don't want let's stop defending him. Please, guys, let's stop defending him. We know he wears the red and white. We know he's here for God knows how long, right? We know he's making a lot of money, but we can see the difference in the team when he is not in there. And if Arteta maybe Arteta made the change because it was Everton, but I hope he made the change, TJ, because he knows that Kai Havertz slows us down. It's evident. It's obvious. We saw it today. We've seen it before. This isn't anything new, fellas. We looked much better today without him on the pitch. And in my mind, I would have put Trossard on the left mid today because him and Martinelli, I think, would have annihilated that defense today. But anyway, Martinelli got injured. He'll be all right, just a calf strain. Trossard came in, did the business, and here we go. So overall, TJ, I guess, it was good. It wasn't great. It could have been better. But again, we pushed and got the goal.
Yeah, no, 100% agree with you. Couldn't agree more. Let's shout out the chat real quick and then talk about the game a little bit more. Then we will get into, because we're getting a lot of questions about Chelsea. We're getting a lot of questions.
Yes,
like we could talk. We're gonna go for about an hour, guys, and we'll talk. Nothing is off the table. So get your questions in. We'll talk about it, because honestly, there's not a lot to dissect about that game. It was what it was. We did the job, got it done. So let me go ahead and highlight some of this stuff. Some of the people in the chat. Elias, you are in the mud. You are 100% done out here. I'm going to bring a shovel up here, and every time you start talking, I'm just going to bring it into the frame, because you're digging your own grave, my friend. You are in the mud. And the chat agrees with me. Big up Rams. Big up Carl Rossi every single time. Big up Amir. Big up Cyborg Ninja. Big up Here to There. Lenny Moon. Oh, God, everybody's there. Tony Barr is in here. Wolfgang Division's in here. Full Bowl is in here, trotting out his Spurs agenda. Jacob is in here, trotting out his waffling Spurs agenda. By the way, Jacob, let's do a show together this week, my friend. Anytime you come here, I'll go there. Let's do it. Let's talk about that chicken sandwich bet. I really, really enjoy Popeyes. I like their fries a lot too. Extra sauce.
Yes, you gotta have extra sauce. TJ, exactly.
Yeah, extra sauce. So remember, when I send you my address in WhatsApp, extra sauce for the chicken sandwich, my friend. Yep. Extra sauce. Big up yourself, Jacob. Though every single time, Jacob has a bad choice of team, but he's an absolute real one.
And he's an American idiot. Well, almost.
Well, he's American, and Jacob, we need to talk about a little bit of a show idea that I have, because I'm meeting more Americans as I get on these WhatsApp chats. One of them is Staffy TV right here. Big up Staffy TV.
Staffy. Wait a second. Staffy, you were on the Manchester United reactions video.
Was.
Game's over.
Yeah, no, he was doing this.
Shout out Staffy. I'm a subscriber.
Yeah, no, I shot that video over to Staffy. I'm like, Staffy, you got clipped up, bro.
I saw that reactions, bro. That was one of the best ones.
Yeah, no, 100%. But big up Staffy every single time. We're linking up, and we are going to see. He's got
to be fucking beside himself, bro.
No, dude. There's him, Flawless. All those guys are like sticking their head in the sand, bro.
Yeah, poor guy. Shout out Flawless.
Shout out Flawless every single time. But yeah, big up everybody. Big up everybody. Yeah, no, Jacob supported City last season, I swear. Well, all of the Spurs fans supported City last season, and I don't blame them. Yeah. No, Staffy, exactly. My team stays losing, but I stay winning. We're always winning. That's why you never run. You lose, you never run. That's what I'm saying.
You take the ass kicking with pride, right, TJ?
Yes.
Just take the ass kicking with pride. Everyone saw us go through it. Everyone saw us at 20th place, 4 years ago?
Yep.
So I don't have any love for United or Chelsea.
3-0 at home by Chelsea.
All I give a shit, but that's right. You don't stop defending your team for sure.
Never, absolutely. So we have all these legends in the chat. I'll take a quick detour here. So this past Friday, we had Lee Gunner on the show, on the American Idiot Show, one of our highest performing videos ever, of course, because it's the one and only numpty YouTuber, Lee Gunner. Lee Gunner, thank you again for coming on, man. That show got us above 500 subs for the channel. We are now in the conversation for getting monetized in the YouTube partnership. So again, thank you guys so much for your support. We will be having that 500 sub celebration. We don't know when it's going to happen yet, but when we do, it's going to be absolutely massive. We just need to find a spot. It's probably not going to be over the next week, because me and Dal are both booked up with North London Derby shows, and obviously we are going to be having massive North London Derby shows on TJ Warren TV as well. So keep a lookout for that.
TJ, another thing.
Yeah,
we have what we call jobs, 9 to 5.
Oh yeah, jobs,
through Friday.
Hobbies. I'm actually, I'm in Des Moines the Saturday before the North London Derby, singing at a wedding up there. I have to drive back that night and then do the watch along on Tottenham away. It is going to be unreal. It's going to be an unreal week.
That's what we do as fans, bro.
100%. But yeah, get your questions in, guys. We're going to go ahead and you want to get into player ratings now, or is there anything else you want to talk about in the game?
No, about the game. I guess looking back at David Raya, his distribution was fantastic today for the few times he got the ball. I got to say, there was a play he made towards the end. He kicked it out wide right, and we went immediately into attack. Just saying.
Are you? You know what I'm going to ask?
I am Ramsdale in.
Okay, good.
Because he's our guy. He's gotten us. How many man of the matches has Ramsdale gotten in the last 2 seasons? I would say more than any other Arsenal player.
Facts.
Go back and look at the chats and the review shows. Ramsdale had man of the match several times last season and the season before. So Raya has to earn a spot. Raya hasn't done anything, super spectacular to earn a spot. Yeah, he looked good at Brentford. Fantastic. He's still on loan. And again, I go back. He's the only player we signed since July 15th. Not good enough, TJ, but we can get into match ratings if you want.
I know, and we're going to get it. Well, let's keep talking about this because the chat is fueling us. Big up the chat every single time. Make sure you are smashing the likes. We have 17 likes. Let's get us up to 25 before the end of the stream. Raya over Ramsdale settled. Is it? Because here's what I saw. Here's what I saw, Rams, and big up Rams every single time. Raya had one P-roller shot against him today. He played well out of the back, but let's see him against better competition than relegation possibly bound Everton. Like let's reel it in just a little bit here, guys. Like I'm gassed about Raya too. I was gassed about him when we signed him. Was unbelievable. Was really, really excited about that because it showed some intention about how we want to approach competitions that are outside of the Premier League, right? We want 1A, 1B goaltending. But let's not over gas what we just saw. Everton are dead moving forward, and we know this. So let's stay in reality, people. That's all I'm asking. Let's stay in reality.
They said at the other game, I saw a stat that Ramsdale played 52 straight Premier League games. Granted, he needs a rest, in some games. But, Raya made a case for himself with the distribution. But I think you're right, TJ. One game does not define the player. And we got to see what he can do when our goals getting peppered by the likes of Aston Villa and our goals getting peppered by the likes of Liverpool and Man City. If he pulls out some Ramsdale-like saves, then I will be on the Raya train. But for now, I'm still on the Ramsdale train.
Right. No, and this is a narrative that I think is getting way overbeaten. And big up here to there every single time. He's a huge supporter of this channel, man. But Ramsdale is far from done. He is far from done. I think that he's getting rested to start in the Champions League, and then we will see who starts against Spurs based off of how that goes.
We'll see Ramsdale against PSV for sure.
We will see Ramsdale against PSV, and I cannot wait for that game against PSV. It's going to be a great match. At home. I'm really excited. I'm really excited for that, and we'll probably do a preview for that at some point. We just don't know when.
That PSV game, if we get a win out of that, that's going to give us great momentum going into the North London Derby.
Yep, 100%. Are you confident going into the North London Derby?
No, not the way Spurs are playing. I got to admit, man, James Maddison is probably one of the best mids. He is probably the best mid right now in form. I mean, he just looks absolutely on fire. Buscema, I mean, what can you say? The guy's not injured. He's firing. But I think those two players are very key for them. And our Spurs friends, be counting your blessings. If one of them gets injured, I really think that's going to affect your season. And there's some disagreement could come from that. I get it. I don't know much about your bench, but with Maddison or Buscema, one of them get injured, I think you're going to drop out of the top 5 for sure. Because I think that of a lot of Arsenal, right? We lose Saliba, or we lose Trossard, or we lose Saka. In some instances, or even Odegaard, the same could happen to us, right? I mean, I'm not trying to say that you guys are just a two-man team, but those two players are actually the two of the most informed players right now in the league. No doubt about it. But it's going to be good, TJ. I mean, it's going to be a hard-fought battle because we're both fighting for points, right? Yep. And North London derbies get better and better as both clubs are up on the table. It's not much of a battle when we're up top and Spurs are down below, but it is what it is. But every time we're going to give 100%. And to think that we're just going to let Spurs walk all over us, that is not going to happen because Arteta will have us ready for that game for sure.
If you don't think, and here's where I don't see why a lot of Spurs fans are coming with chest. If you don't think that this team is going to be up to play against Spurs, especially on the form that Spurs are on, Arteta has all the bulletin board material that he needs to put on the board. Bring in that same photographer again from the freaking Amazon documentary, so he can cry and get the team up for it. We do not lose at the Emirates against Spurs. We do not lose. So I don't know where all of this confidence is coming from. Ange Ball is looking good right now, but you also have to look at who you've played.
Yeah, I think United has really been their only competitive.
Yeah, and United and United just got turned over by Brighton.
Yeah, they're
like
definitely in the mud.
And I'm not saying. And look, it could be argued that Spurs and Arsenal really haven't played any teams of quality yet, and now the first teams of quality we are running into each other.
Yeah,
at that time.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, I would say that. I mean, we're both tied for second right now, and that's what's going to make this game even more intense. Again, and someone I think mentioned Son. Yeah, Son's good, but Son's good with an open play where he can get the ball and have a couple yards. If Gabriel Saliba on top of him, I don't think Son does much at all. I think James Maddison is by far the Spurs' most deadly player. But but that's not for another weekend. We just beat Everton. We're tied with Spurs. I mean, I'm not too worried about Spurs, to be honest, because I want to take it game by game, see what we do against PSV, take that momentum, like I said, and put that onto Saturday or Sunday, whatever weekday it is, and I think we can get something. And if we draw with Spurs, then hey, it's a win-win situation, right, for both, and we're back where we started. So,
right.
I mean, I want to win, but a draw is not going to be the end of the world if it's a 6th game of the season.
Correct. Yep. No, I couldn't agree more with you, Dal. I couldn't agree more. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get into the player ratings segment of the reaction, and then we'll talk about, we have to talk about Chelsea. Everybody's asking about Chelsea. We will give our opinions right now at the risk of ruining monetization. Fuck Chelsea. I don't care. I'm glad to see them where they are right now. It couldn't have happened to a better squad. But we'll get into that. So let's go ahead and get into it and chat, participate with us. Let us know what your ratings were for the respective players that we name out here. Let's go ahead and get into it. We will get into making his Arsenal debut. Number 22, David Raya. What did you think, Dow?
9.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. His distribution was great, but he only had, 1 or 2 shots on target, really, from Everton. I think 1. I mean, all due respect, he's a great keeper. He was fantastic at Brentford, blah, blah, blah. We all know that. But Ramsdale's still the guy. And Arteta, I think, would get a lot of backlash just to bench Ramsdale and not say anything. I just don't think he's going to do that. But big up. Yeah, I'll give him a 9. He did great. His distribution was fantastic, and he looked calm and cool. So, yeah, why not?
Yeah, all right. I will go 7.5. I think that he just wasn't tested enough for me to give him above an 8. I think that his distribution was good. I really want to see him playing more. I'm not so here's the thing is I am not a Ramsdale proponent. I am not a Raya in guy. I'm not a Ramsdale out guy. I am an Arsenal fan. Okay. So whoever puts us in the best position to win any given week is who I am going to support. When I saw Raya got chosen for this starting 11, I wasn't worried. I immediately switched my prediction to 3-0. I went on Lee's chat and put that in there. I went on Tony's stream. Big up Tony. Go and watch that watch along. It was scenes. Po. And I switched it back to 3-0. I mean, it was going to be a clean sheet all the way. Everton are dead moving forward. I'm giving Raya a 7.5 for today's performance. Moving to left back, we are going to go and talk about Alexander Zinchenko.
7. I still thought, of course, the defensive weaknesses were there. But again, Everton didn't show much of anything, so I don't think there was a real threat anyway. But I'll give him a 7. And I'm going to go back on Raya. Maybe an 8. Maybe a 9 was a little extreme.
It's okay. We're gassed. We're just
okay, yeah, right. I'll go back to an 8. But anyway, back to Zinchenko. I'll give him a 7 because he did what we wanted him to do. He inverted. He made great passes. His defensive play in the center of the park was decent. 7.
I will give him. Oh God, I'm not trying to be harsh, but there were a couple of dead balls that he threw in there. He's still not. I'm still not seeing what I need to see from him. Like when he inverts into the midfield, are we seeing the fruits of that? That's
He had
my
some
question.
cutting passes. He had some nice through passes, I thought, today, and that's what he was doing in the beginning of last season, right?
Yeah. It's just I'm just and I'm not going to be as harsh as Carl is here, but this is what I'm worried about. He did give the ball away a few times. Like, I don't expect him all of those through balls to go through. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not expecting him to be, I'm not expecting him to be Zidane or anything like that. I'm expecting
on his work effort.
Yeah. So I'll give him a 7. I'll give him a 7. I thought he was fine. He did a work effort. He wasn't average. He was slightly above average, I would say. I will give him a 7, teetering on like a 6.5. Gabriel Magalhaes.
We'll give him a 6.5. That little bozo gene came back there in about the 89th minute, didn't it? Woo! Can't decide whether to go left or right there, huh, Gabriel? Let's kick the ball out of bounds, Gabriel, if you get that scared. Yeah, I thought he played well most of the game. A few little moments there. I thought he might get caught out by Beto because Beto is strong.
Yes, he is.
He probably is wondering what the hell he's doing up in Merseyside now. But hey, Gabriel held his own. I'm gonna give him a 6.5. The bozo G. I seriously thought they were gonna score there in that 1 second. I was like, oh shit, this is 1-1. God damn it, Gabriel. But then he revived himself.
No, 100%.
So, 6.5.
I'm going 6.5 too. There were a couple of bozo gene moments there. The yellow card on him I thought was deserved. Obviously impeded play there. I think that I want him to be as good as Saliba is. And I don't think that's ever going to. So when you're like comparing the two, he's always going to get rated a little bit lower just because I think Saliba's like, by comparison, it's hard to do that. So I'm going 6.5. Yeah, I'm going 6.5. He looked fine. Not ripping up trees. But yeah, again, chat, get your ratings in, everybody. We are going to go for probably about a half an hour more. We are in the middle of our player rating segment. Make sure you are smashing the likes, people. Make sure you are smashing the likes and sharing the channel around. Moving over, let's go over to William Saliba. What did you think?
Gotta go with an 8. Solid. Looks comfortable. Never really broke a sweat. 8.
Yep. Jaminho says 7. Ram says 8. I agree. It was an 8. He was great. Played well today. Had some key blocks, key shot blocks in the box. People were saying, "Oh, well, we're looking bad moving forward. What has Saliba done? We really haven't seen Saliba." What are you talking about? He had 2 shot blocks, key shot blocks in that match.
Yeah,
he is by far our best defender going away. One of the best defenders in the league. Go ahead. What were you going to say, Dale?
And one other thing too, he's good at running forwards out of bounds when they think they're going to get the ball. He stays very parallel with the attacker, to where they just lose it out of bounds. He's class, bro. Ruben Diaz is probably a bit better. People might say Virgil van Dijk. I don't know, man. Saliba to me is better than Virgil van Dijk. Yeah. He's just more agile on the ball. Big up, Yeti.
Yeah, big up Yeti every single time. He's Virgil van Dijk, though. Like, the people need to stop saying like he's like this. He's not Virgil van Dijk of like 2019 anymore or 2020.
Yeah, or 2018, 19. Yeah, exactly. I'll give him that. But he's still good. 10 best defenders in the league. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I'm not.
His crown is probably cracked a little bit. For sure.
Yeah,
Ruben Diaz is much better than him.
Yeah, I agree. Agree. Okay, moving on. Benjamin White.
7.5. I thought he was great today.
I was going to say 7.5 too. You looked fine. Really solid. Really solid. Shot on goal. Contributing offensively. Overlapping right back. I love. I
love an overlapping right back.
Yep.
He did the job. Not to sound too out of pocket, but but he did great today. I thought he was fine, and you can see the tempo of play is better, and not only because Vieira was in for Havertz, but Ben White was actually productive on that right side, much more productive than Thomas Partey was. A lot more productive than Tomiyasu because Tomiyasu was mistake prone. So I don't know. Ben White's been solid, and I don't see any reason why to change that. TJ, like I don't. Arteta gets in his own head, like, oh, I'll mess with right back. Why? Ben White was born to play that position. He's made it his own for the last 2-3 seasons. Big up, Carl. I think it looked great today. I say 7.5, 8, maybe an 8.
Yeah, no, chat, no, and the chat agrees with us. Like he's been flying up and down, and it's just like White played his right wing. He's an overlapping right back. It's what he does. He contributes offensively. He is one of the best right backs in the league in terms of offensive contribution, both sides of the ball. He's great. So I don't want to hear nobody. I don't want to hear any slagging off of Ben White. He's great. He has looked solid this season.
More than a right back.
Yep, 100%. Okay, let's move on to Fabio Vieira.
6. Oh God, he did play well today. Okay, 6.5. I don't see it yet. I don't see it because again, we're comparing him to Kai freaking Havertz, who we absolutely can't stand. So if the litmus test is Kai Havertz, right? If that's the bar, the standard we're setting, that's going to make Vieira look like a prime Ronaldo, right? So, I mean, it's Fabio Vieira. We expect him to get better, right?
Yep.
So, in essence, was 35, from what you've seen so far, TJ, in the chat, the 35 mil we spent on Vieira, is it now coming to fruition? Is this the prime Vieira we're seeing, or is this the learning and beginning Vieira, getting melded and assimilated the team Vieira? We don't know yet. But after today, I got to give him a 6 because there's nothing he's done that was so extraordinary to make me go, oh, he was better than ESR. Oh, he's better than Trossard. Because I think Trossard could play left mid and invert and cut in just as fine and rotate with Martinelli.
Yeah,
another story. But, I mean, with Fabio Vieira, a 6. He did what he had to do, but again, he's a very average player.
Yep. No, 100%. I agree with you. I'm going to go, I would say I'm going to give him a 6, but with an asterisk. If that goal would have stood, I would have given him a 7 because that he did look good with some of his passes in.
His passing was decent.
His passing was good. But he's still lacking the finishing ability. So if you're going to take those shots from outside the box, make sure that they're hitting. Because he had a few shots today that just went into the third row, went into the freaking owner's box at Goodison. Like it's one of those things where the potential, I'm seeing the potential. I'm seeing why we signed him.
But I still believe, like our friend Ram says, he needs protein shakes. Get the man a cheeseburger. Yep. He's going to have to bulk up, bro. Eddie's bulked up. Saka's bulked up. I think ESR's probably bulked up a bit over the summertime. We've seen pictures of him in training. The sleeves has got the guns out. I mean, he's going to have to bulk up to play that position, and that's
100.
And that's the thing too. Havertz is a much bigger in stature, 6'2". He's a little more weight on him, but my God, Havertz is not. Havertz, I don't think can pass the ball as well as Vieira. Plain and simple.
Yeah,
he
no.
cannot pass the ball as well as Vieira, and I don't want to say, oh, can't do it yet. He can't do it. That's why he didn't play much today.
Yeah, no, I agree. And here to there, that's what I meant is that if that goal had stood, I think it would have been a 7.
Yeah,
but it didn't. So the rest of that doesn't really count. I think Fabio Vieira was bang average outside of that. But I still want him to start over Havertz. Not that that's not that the expectations are through the roof on that one.
Sure,
bar is extremely low, people. Extremely low. Declan Rice.
Bro, I gotta give him an 8.5.
Really?
I know. Because I trust players a lot on work effort. And since 6, I'm sure we get some 5s and 7s. I know, but dude was up and down the pitch all day today. Yeah. And I know our man Jaminho can't stand him. He's 6'5". I see Rams is an 8. I said, 8.5? Okay, I'll settle for an 8. But he's just the engine right now. He's really the engine in midfield. And some of the passing could have been better. Some of, little technical things could have been better. But he's yelling at players. He was yelling at Odegaard. I think it was one play or someone took a shot. He was wide open in the box. He was screaming at him at the end. The dude wants to win. And he is a fucking workhorse, TJ. And that's what we need in midfielders. And that's why, Vieira needs to bulk up. to be a workhorse like him as well. I know Juminho hates him 10,000, right? 10,000. Fair enough. My guy, Juminho. But I thought Declan Rice was the engine today, TJ. Without the engine, you don't have a car, right? The wheels and tires don't mean shit if you don't have an engine. So Declan Rice was solid. Yeah, exactly. A 7, I give him an 8. You know, I thought he was decent today. He was better than Vieira.
Yeah. I'm giving him a 7. I think he was slightly above average. I don't think so. Here's the thing about how I rate players is that if you don't do anything glaringly negative, you're getting at least a 5 or a 6 with me, right? He did not do anything glaringly negative. He did get turned around once in the first half, but other than that, you really didn't notice him, right?
Right.
So it's one of those things where, you know, you consider the opposition, you consider the players that we had on the pitch, and you also consider the style of play that we were playing with. I mean, Everton were playing a low blocks. They are dead moving forward. So are you really going to notice Declan Rice in a game like this? You shouldn't.
Exactly. That's very true. But to me, he commanded that whole midfield today.
Yeah. Okay. Big up your gunner every single time, my friend. I hope you are well, buddy. I hope you are well. Big up everybody in the chat. Make sure we are smashing likes up. We got 18 inside. Big up every single one of the 18 inside right now. We are at 27 likes. Get us to 35 likes before the end of the stream. We are going to go for another half an hour. We are moving through the player rating segment. Make sure that you are putting it in the chat, people. The captain, Martin Odegaard, is next.
6.5.
6 point. Okay, I want to hear this.
Am I too high or too low?
Too low. Too low, in my opinion.
Too low?
Yeah.
All right, TJ, just to calm your nerves, I'll go 7.
I'm so no, it's your rating. It's your rating.
I don't know. He was the passing was good. The tricky stuff was good. They get a couple of decent shots, but I wanted more from him today. I felt like Rice was the captain today.
I mean, you could talk about leadership, like vocal leadership. And Rice is going to be the eventual captain, but in terms of he generated, and I'm not talking the hockey assist on the goal was from Odegaard.
Right. Yeah, well, good. I just want to see more. I want to see more too. And that's why I give him 6.5. I think there was opportunity for more, and he had a couple of stray passes, and I'm just going to give him a 6.5, man.
Hey, fair. No, it's your ratings, bro. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, like Lucas saying he's bang average 6.2. I mean, my man Luke. I just wanted to see more. I want to see Madison level type shit. And what I saw today was Odegaard working hard, doing what he's supposed to do. But doing what you're supposed to do isn't going to get you an 8 or a 9, bro. You know, doing what you're supposed to do, like you said earlier, is going to get you a 5 to a 6 to maybe a 5.5 to a 7. So a 6.5, right? Yeah, not great today. Rice was our captain today, man. And I don't know. Odegaard has to just step it up another notch.
No, I hear you.
You will.
I know. I hear you 100%. He is. If you are a Tottenham fan and you're not afraid of Martin Odegaard,
you should be.
You should be. So Carl, like the balance of the chat agrees with you. 6.5, 6. Odegaard 2 because he snaked Ireland. Yep. I don't know how he did it.
Yeti needs him back.
Well, Yeti, you are such a
last time Norway.
Yeti, you're such a legend, dude.
Oh my god, bro.
I'm dead. That was funny.
Every player has Jesus is a snake. He went to Brazil instead of Ireland.
I'm giving Odegaard a 7. I thought he was solid. Great play-in. Great play-in on the goal. I know that doesn't count. That doesn't count for anything, but he did have a heads-up play to Saka. Saka squared it to Leo Trossard, and that is all she wrote. I got to go to the starter, but he didn't really play that much. Martinelli, I mean, 5, 6.
My left winger.
He got hurt.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, 5 on that one.
5 is average because he wasn't there. He was working. He actually got injured. He didn't do he wasn't poor, which would be a 4, right? Or 3 would be your poor. He didn't even get a chance to really do much. But I think that calf strain, he'll be okay because it's snake tired. Oh shit! Here we go. Here we go. Oh my god.
This shit is
Irish
nice and because
is
you're not from
coming out.
Ireland.
Oh shit. No, who are we talking about again? Martinelli. That's right. He's
Martinelli.
that's right. No, he touched the ball a few times. I mean, I think that was a game for him. He looked like he was up for it. Unlucky he got injured, but that gave our man Trossard a fucking chance.
Yep.
Right?
Shocker.
Who would have thought
And
maybe
look what
start him?
happened.
Maybe start him at the beginning of the game, Mikel. Maybe give the man a sniff. I don't know. But yet he doesn't rate him because the Belgians snaked Ireland. But anyway, Martinelli, I give a 5 because he at least tried. So
yep, I got to give him a standard 5. He wasn't on the pitch long enough. Let's go, Eddie Nketiah.
2.
He was bad today, wasn't he?
Why do you even start?
Yeah, he was bad.
Bro, if any one of you or Mikel Arteta and you have Eddie Nketiah here and have fit Jesus with Martinelli, the Brazilian golden boy, with his mentor, practically his best pal, his best friend, Jesus, and you put Eddie fucking Nketiah up there to go against 5 defenders, make it make sense. Someone make it make sense. This guy can't score. He couldn't score in a brothel. He couldn't hit a barn door with a machine gun. Any analogy you want to use. He is not Arsenal quality, and I'm tired of people defending him. I don't give a crap about his last couple of goals, last few games. Fantastic. He was absolute dog shit today. Not paying attention for the offside goal. Drifting around, jogging around. Come on, Eddie. Get the fuck out of my club. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. A 2, get him out. That was a little harsh.
Yeah. No, it wasn't harsh. I'll give him a 4. He was bad. He wasn't negative, but he sure shit wasn't positive. And that's one of those things where you're the starting striker for a team that is trying to win the title. And he was dog shit today. He was absolute dog shit.
I can see our man Rams in the chat. This is not Eddie's game. They're going to defend the whole match. You expect Eddie to score? Well, I'm not going to pick him, bro. Arteta put him in.
And what happened when Jesus came on? Like literally 2 minutes later, what happened?
And I don't think Rams is really defending him. We know it's not his game. Well, that's Arteta to know that, bro. It's Arteta to know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Arteta to see, they're set up with basically 5 defenders. I'm gonna put a striker in there that barely scores, that doesn't have much technical ability, that can only tap in goals, that can't shoot outside the box, that can't link up with Martinelli, that can't link up with Saka. If it does, it happens sporadically. It comes off a defender's leg and something. It's never pure Rams. There's no pure goal-scoring blood in Eddie Nketiah for this club. Maybe for Leeds or Brighton or Wolves or somebody. He's just not Arsenal quality, bro. And it showed it again today. We're playing a team that's like relegation fodder. And you want to forward again their tactical shit, ticky with the defenders, right? He can't do it, bro. You know, and I don't think you're really defending him. I'm just saying that if you know the expectation is for Eddie to score because that's his job, and you don't think he's going to do it, if you're Arteta, why would you put him in? Would you ever fit Jesus? It makes no sense, bro. It makes no sense. He's a 2. I want him out of the club. He's done. He's done. Thank you, Carl.
No. Clip that up. Facts. No, I give him a 4. I give him a 4. Dog shit. Bukayo Saka.
5.
I think that's harsh.
There's 6.
I'd go 6 or 7.
I don't know because I don't know what I really saw of him today again.
Got the assist on the Trossard goal.
Okay. To me, the Trossard goal, though, kind of bounced around.
I'm not trying to get you.
For me, an assist is when you're coming down the pitch, right? You're passing. One makes a cut, you pass the ball, he puts it around the keeper, he scores. God. That's an assist. A ball off a defender's knee or his ball sack, and you have to be there to put in the goal, isn't an assist. He's playing with an injury. He was limping after half the game. Rams is right. He is playing with injuries. A 6, bro. A 5? I mean, look at a 5, dude. I can go 6. I'll go 5.5, TJ, because it just wasn't working out for him. We know Everton are tough, strong. They're all fouling the crap out of him. He didn't really get what he could really do. Yeah, he's hobbling. And it's just and when you have that, bro, it's like playing with 9 men. It's just you're missing that spark on the side. This was the perfect game for Reese Nelson. He would have toasted that Russian left back guy, Mukalenko, or whatever his name is.
Can't stand that guy.
I can't stand him either. He fouls Saka every time he gets near the ball. Like I'm surprised he didn't get a red card either. But but Saka has to make some better decisions sometimes. He's got to get in the box more. We've said this all along. It doesn't do much help dribbling outside and doing fancy little step overs and flicks when you're outside of the 18-yard box, and all you do is pass it laterally or backwards. And he didn't do that as much today, but there's a little more energy there, but it just needs some refining. We count that playing on one leg, then an 8. Yeah, exactly.
He was playing on one leg. You can tell he's hobbling, man. He's hobbling. I'm giving him
a 5.5.
I'm giving him a 6.5. Just the goal doesn't happen without him, and you can contend. Yes, it was obviously a great take from Trossard. I'm not discounting that, and that is going to reflect in my rating of Trossard. But Saka did have to put the ball in. I think that he's playing injured and he needs a rest, but he'll never get arrested. Like he will never go to Mikel Arteta and say, "Hey, boss, I need a rest." He'll never do it.
No.
So he will get played into the ground.
Hopefully not.
Into the ground.
Hopefully not. This was a perfect game for Reese Nelson because he would have scorched Makalenko. He was scorched him all day long.
Yeah, Makalenko's another great Ukrainian left back, by the way. He's not
Russian. I said Russian. I said Ukrainian. My fault. So no offense.
I just don't want to get canceled. You know what I mean?
No, I hear you.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and do those coming off the bench. Leo Trossard came off the bench first.
I'm going to give my man 9. Man of the match, 9.5. I'll give it 9. Man of the match. Needed that goal, and he delivered.
Yep. No, I agree. 9 for Trossard. Put your ratings to Trossard in the chat, guys. I think Trossard was class. He is literally screaming out to start.
Yeah.
He is crying out to start, and I think we have to start him. We have to start him against PSV, period.
I think we should, if Jesus just quite isn't there yet, right? We still think he's still kind of coming out of being injured after surgery. So there is that piece to it. But he has to start in front of Eddie. I want to see the combination. Well, if Martinelli gets better, which I think he's out for a couple weeks, okay, so that would put Trossard on the left. Then if Jesus is ready, he needs to be up front. I think Eddie Nketiah is basically, let's say we're going to PSV, TJ, right, for example. And he has Trossard on the left because Martinelli's injured, obviously. And then he puts Eddie up front. I think Eddie is literally in the way of Trossard. Like he's in the way. Right?
Right.
All ball players, attackers need room to move. Eddie doesn't know where to go but forward. And he'll run around. But Jesus will run behind, right? If Trossard has the ball on the left and he's moving towards, diagonally into the box, Jesus has enough football IQ to know to back up for the back pass, right?
Yep.
If Trossard is running, or he knows to loop back around. Either way, he loops to the right, Saka comes in the middle. He loops to the left, he opens up, he pulls the defender out, right? The right back out and gives Trossard more room. Eddie doesn't do that. Eddie runs forward and stands there. So he basically will just get in the way. He's like another defender. He's in the way. He was in the way today with the offsides. Why wasn't he running back? Why was he walking back and watching the game?
Casual.
These decisions that Arteta needs to look at from today's game and realize that Eddie Nketiah, number one, we've all said it before, is not Arsenal quality, and he doesn't deserve a starting spot. I will give him credit for the goals he's gotten so far. I will. But in reality, Jesus is the one we need up there. In reality, we need a better striker. But for who we have now, Jesus is the one that has to be up there. Either him or Trossard. But he's going to play Trossard on the left now because Gabriel's injured. It's not rocket science, bro. We all saw it today. We're a different team with him in the side.
Yep. When we all saw it coming, and we all talked about this for weeks on end, is that if we get one injury, the squad is looking anorexic, to say the least. So it's one of those things where it's going to be a very interesting starting 11 for PSV, and then Spurs after that. I'm really, really hoping that it's not a multi-week injury for Martinelli, because then we are in trouble.
It's
trouble.
knowing it's probably. I would look at a couple weeks or so just to be on the safe side. But one thing about PSV is now they do not have Xavi Simons anymore, and that
Yeah.
is a huge plus for us. I think he went to RB Leipzig.
Yeah.
That kid is phenomenal. He will tear us up. So going into PSV, I know we're not done ratings. That again, we got to get that game. We got to get momentum. So I don't want to steer away from the ratings.
No, it's totally cool. No, I agree with you 100%. Let's finish up these ratings. So, I will go next on my ESPN app that says Gabriel Jesus coming on for Eddie and Kedia. What did you think, Gabby Jesus today?
What time did he get on? I'm trying to think. The 65th minute or so. Does it say?
Yeah, hold on. Let me look. I think it was the 65th minute because he wasn't. Okay. Well, he just wasn't it, was he? Good Lord. Yeah, it was 66th minute.
Okay, so that's a good sub by Arteta. That's about the time we want him to be subbing. I don't know. I'm gonna give him 6.5, 7.
Yeah.
I mean, the game changed with him on there, right? I mean, he's not 100% yet. You can still that there's a little bit of an injury there, but I'm gonna give him a 7 because we do look better with him on the pitch. There's just more movement around the box. There's more attacking options.
No, I agree. He opens up space out there. We were talking about it on Tony's show. Is he gives a lot more options, and I think teams are watching him more closely than they would watch an Eddie and Kedia. And Kedia is a poacher, right? If the ball is in open space, he's going to be watching it. But if you start getting into those tight situations in the box, is Eddie and Kedia going to deliver for you? More than likely not.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Jesus, I would say a 6.5. He didn't contribute offensively, but I think his presence there is very, very key.
Right. Yeah, so, I mean, I guess if you're any defender, you're going to get a Brazilian forward. You've got to be on your P's and Q's much more than you would for someone like Eddie and Ketia. And you're absolutely right. I mean, look at Eddie Ketia's goals. I would say 90% of them, he's in the 6-yard box and tapping them in, which is great, but it's not sustainable. Like we've talked about this before. It's great that he's got, some goals for us and put us in winning positions and so forth, but we know that he cannot sustain that. That style of scoring goals isn't sustainable. You have to be scoring goals from open play, especially when we're on counterattacks and so forth. We're built to counterattack. Get the ball out wide to Saka and get the ball in, right? It's pretty pretty straightforward the way we attack. I mean, a lot of teams can figure it out, but you can't figure out a Jesus who's in and out of running in between defenders, creating space, backing up, being the center mid, being the right wing, letting Saka get inside of it. You can't defend against that easily as you can, like you said, against a poacher. So big up Jesus.
Yep. If Eddie's a poacher, will continue starting. He fails to be in the right spot more times than not.
Right.
Facts.
Right. And he's in the way.
Yep. No, he can't. He
passenger. Yeah.
He's a passenger when the balls aren't coming to him. Facts. Kai Havertz next.
Oh, he even played, didn't he?
Yeah,
he had black boots on today. I noticed that. I don't know. What's 1 + 1 equal 2? I don't know. I mean, a 2. I give him a 2 because he's just. I just don't. I just hard to slam the guy when he comes in and does nothing because,
came in at the 80th minute. It's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah, and so Ram says a 2, but was he really that poor when he
wasn't
came
bad.
in?
He wasn't negative.
Right. So I mean, a 2 takes a little harsh. So I'm gonna go give him the standard. Well, I want to say 5, but 4 because if it's Kai. I'm 5. I'll go.
I'm going standard 5. I really don't.
What you could do in 10, 12 minutes of football.
Yeah.
But Arteta will get higher than that because he didn't start him. So
yeah, this is exactly my thoughts. Here to there, you nailed it.
Rude things, right? Absolutely. If you would have shit the bed and gave up a goal or an own goal or something, God, a 2 or a 3 for sure. But a 5. I hate the standard rating too, Carl.
Yeah.
But, we've got to have a 0.
I don't think it's 0. Like
I think 0. A lot of this TJ
you breathe out there. You breathe out there. You can get it too.
Right. And so this is something I think Lee Gunner did a year or 2 ago was talking with Ola or Southern Gooner and said, "Hey, what up, True Gunner?" And said, like, what do you really give a sub that comes on and doesn't do anything? It's like, do you give them a 0 or do you give them a 5? Right? Is 5 if the players are good, right? If you're still a Premier League player and you come on as a sub and you don't do much, are you still getting that 5 because you're a good player, right? Essentially. Right. So does that 5 reflect what you did in the past or what you know? It should reflect immediately in the game. So of that, I want to give him a 2, right? Carl says a 0, but he's then setting the bar at 0. I think some people set the bar at 5 and then they go up or down.
I'm that guy. I set the bar at 5 and you either go above or down.
Right. So, hey, it is what it is. He's not Arsenal quality. We look different. We looked different without him in the squad. Again, he came out at the 80th minute, didn't have time to ruin things. So I give him a 2 for that. But again, we saw the spark we had. Once we saw him on the team sheet, everyone in their YouTube channels lit up. Hey, Kai Havertz! Hey!
Yeah, everybody was going ticker tape parades.
Jeez, everybody was just jizzing over that shit. But the thing is that Vieira's not all that much better.
Nope.
Right? And that's the problem that we've been talking about, TJ. Just standing up for the yeah, exactly. Yet he got off the bus and didn't fall down. Come on. I don't know. I give him a 2. And I'm with Carl. I give him a 0, but I'm with you too, TJ. A 5 because, of whatever reason. But I think I'm going to start setting my bar at 0 with my man Rossi because a 5 is maybe too high.
All right. Well, maybe if you come on in the 80th minute, you don't do crap. Maybe we just need to do like a non-applicable, but I'm going to give him a 5. Yeah. I'm going to give him a 5 just because he didn't fuck up.
Perfect.
Which should not be a glorious rating for anybody.
No, of course
it's not a glorious rating. I'm not bigging him up or anything like that. Not. Like, give me a break. And then last but not least, well, sort of least, he came on to Tomiyasu. I'm giving him a standard 5. He really didn't do much. So
yeah, no, he got I think he got man of the match against Germany.
Yeah, good for him.
Shout out Tomiyasu. I'm gonna give him a 5 as well. Didn't do much, but I kind of like the Tomiyasu in midfield a bit. Yep. It's not that bad because he's bigger than Zinchenko. He can't pass as well, but he's a bigger presence, if that means anything to anybody,
Yeah.
Match.
Tony's taking a piss.
Yeah, I think Trossard won that award easily. But, we'll see. I've given up on Tomiyasu, to be honest, TJ. I've kind of just said, yeah, he's just not Arsenal quality.
Yep, me too.
If he's going to get some game time, put him in the 85th or 86th minute is probably good because that guy is mistake prone. And I know he's, like I said, he's solid physical presence, has some footballing IQ, but I just think he's very mistake prone. And I don't really rate him that much.
All right.
I'll give him a 5. I'll be nice. He's better than Kai Havertz.
Like I said, extremely low bar.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Mikel Arteta.
Oh, I'm going to give Arteta a 7 today. I think he got the substitution timing somewhat right. I'm unfortunate for Gabriel. My man Gab's 11 got an injury, but that gave Trossard a chance. And if he would have put someone else in there, right? Let's say he got real clever. And puts Kai Havertz in there instead of Trossard. What would Trossard be thinking if that happened, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to give him a 7. I thought the lineup, the majority of it was correct, except for Vieira and Nketiah. I would have put ESR and Jesus in. But other than that, I'm going to give him a 7 for the day.
I 100% agree with you. I think that the subs when he put them on were fine. I think that I agree with the starting 11 for the most part. He would have gotten a minus 10,000 if he would have started Havertz. He didn't. He is watching our channels. He's listening to us. He knows. That being said, 75 to 80% chance he starts against PSV. So it's one of those things where we just got to see if he's learning his lesson. I mean, and Havertz, like we just said, a ghost. He's a geist. As our buddy Gunner would say.
But I don't think he's going to be a ghost, bro, in the group stage. I think this is where Kai Havertz actually can shine. I think he can shine. I don't say he's going to, but
Yeah.
I think the Premier League's just a bit much for Kai Havertz. But I don't
Okay.
think PSV and Lens are. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
I
think
hear
those
you.
are teams that if if played in the right position, let's say he subbed Odegaard out and let Kai Havertz be the center attacking mid and let him express himself and do kind of what we think he can do. Well, he did it Bayer Leverkusen, right? Or did it Chelsea for the Champions League only. I think we can get something out of him. Again, like I said, against a PSV, against Lens. Sevilla may be a stretch too far because that's a strong physical team, and I know they're crap in La Liga, but they play well against us. We battered them. That was last season. So I don't know. I want to see Kai Havertz in Europe. I really do. I'm really curious what he can do against PSV and Lens, and even Sevilla, for that matter.
Hey, people are thinking that you smoke too much. That you are. No, I'm just kidding. No, I agree with you. There's a lot to be. So yeah, no, I agree with your rating on Arteta, and that whole take, I agree. And then last and definitely least, what did you think of the refereeing in that game?
Awful.
Yeah,
minus 10.
I think 1,000.
Yeah, you can see there was at times the ref wanted the spotlight. Some of these refs want attention. They want to be the center of the fucking controversy. They want to be the center of this stuff, right? I really truly believe that. Mike Dean's one of them. Who's that guy we had before? Not Anthony Taylor. I think that's
Anthony fucking Taylor. I can't stand that guy.
Yeah, I just a zero for sure. You know, I mean, if you're a ref, I'm sure they have to do some background on the teams. You know that Everton are going to come out there and kick Saka. You know they're going to come out there and kick us off the ball. But my God, bro, when the fouls are happening right in front of you, call it. Just call it. It doesn't matter if it stops the play. I would rather have the foul called than have Saka get injured or manhandled over and over until he finally makes the call in like the 70th minute or something. Just call the foul. You know, if the foul happens, call it. I think some of these refs also get too tied up in, letting the flow of play go on. Oh, well, he kind of fell, but it's kind of a foul, but not really. But that's a lot of decision making. If it's a foul, just call it. I agree. Just kind of let it loose for a while. Then he finally started handing out yellow cards. I mean, it was just bizarre. But yeah, screw the ref. We could have done better.
Yeah. Big up Arsenal Vlogs. Big up, my friend. Make sure you're smashing the likes. Make sure you are subbing. Get us 4 more likes before we get out of here, guys. We want to get to 35 before we close out. This had me rolling too. And look, I get this because, that Saliba getting knocked in the face and going down like he just got shot. Yes, that was obviously acting. That was embellishing. But that being said, I think the refs did not have a handle on this match at all. I think for the most part, Everton were bodying. There were a lot of fouls that I believe should have been red cards, should have been called, or not red cards, yellow cards. That Mikalenko on Saka in the first half, that should have been a yellow. Period. The studs weren't up, but he studded him in the ankle on that one. That should have been a yellow. He didn't get it out, and then he finally started getting the yellow cards out in the second half, which I thought was absolutely fucking shambolic. So yeah, that ref minus 10. Fuck that guy. I cannot stand that guy. Absolute wronging.
Do you believe as well that sometimes refs want the spotlight, they want the controversy, and they want the attention on them? Do you believe that? I believe that.
I believe that too, because especially when you're going when you're looking at how they call them over, when they're just and he has to talk to both of them and essentially play dad and say, no, you don't do this. No, you don't do that. And they're very active with their body motion. Yeah. I think that is so fucking dramatic and stupid.
Yes.
Maybe that's just me being an American and saying all this stuff. But no, you just throw it. If you're going to give him a card, throw him up. If not, why are you disciplining him? You can go over to him and say, hey, if you do that again, I'm carding you up. If you look at, and this is going to be an American take, I'm sorry, this is the way it is. But if you're watching hockey or if you're watching NFL, they go over, they don't make a scene about it. They go over the player and say, hey, if you do that again, I'm carding you up. Or, hey, if you do that again, I'm throwing the flag. Hey, if you do that again, you're getting 2 minutes. Like, it doesn't have to be freaking EastEnders every single time something happens. It doesn't have to be it. It doesn't have to be Top Boy. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Okay,
Right.
you like English shows? I love Top Boy, by the way. What a great show. Anyway, what a show. Anyway, yeah, ref minus 10. And you know what? If I'm wrong, and I would love to hear the English side of this, but I just think it's absolutely unnecessary.
I think I couldn't imagine being a ref in an EPL game. I just couldn't imagine the noise, the pressure. I think VAR is good in some instances and absolutely terrible in some. It was good for us to have the Garnacho goal offside.
Yeah,
but it's terrible in ways that I think that the referee can kind of just let things go, like you're saying. Like they like to show who's in charge, right? Exactly, Luke. They're showing in charge at the detriment of us watching the game in some cases. Just call it. No one, like you said, the 1-to-1 and the chatting TJ. Nobody wants your freaking opinion, bro. We just want you to make the call and make them consistent and equal. Like you can't, you can't foul Everton 5 times while we're fouling people too and falling down and shit, and not call us at all. I expect us to get calls. I expect us to, go get stuck in and, get the ball off these players and possibly get a yellow card. That to me shows fight, and that's what I want to see. But the thing too is like the refs just, they've got to be paying closer attention on the real physical impacts, right? The real hits. If there's someone just getting touched or hit, maybe there's some degree of just letting it play on, but you've got to have some sensibility of knowing when a player's getting rugby tackled and just sort of pushed from behind. And I think that most of these EPL refs look at everything as just, it's just a push from behind. And it's not, dude. Like Saka really got hit today by Moyalenko. I mean, he was on the ground rolling around. I know there's some play acting in that probably for most players. That is actually part of the game, right? There's some strategy to that. But I mean, I would have given that yellow card all day, TJ. And not just as an Arsenal fan. I mean, it's just you just basically tackled the kid. I just got a slap on the hand. Oh, keep playing. And It's weird.
And yet everybody's diving. It's not just something that Arsenal does. And what we're talking about, I'm mostly talking about the Moyalenko studs up against Saka. That should have been a yellow, and it just got completely ignored. It's an absolute fucking joke. That was an absolute fucking joke. So yeah, no, and I might be like, yeah, TJ, you're biased. Yeah, I am biased. I'm an Arsenal fan. I am a little bit biased, but that was a fucking joke. Like, give me a break. Ref will ignore the major ones when you keep playing the small ones. I disagree with that completely. It really does depend on the flow of the game, but nah.
Like
we never die. Yeah, I'm sure. All right, let's move on.
There's no accountability, right? And so when the refs do have bad performances, is there really accountability? And there's no direct accountability. They may get pulled from a game or something, but that doesn't matter in the long run. I mean, wow, they missed a week, big deal. They're just back at it 2 weeks later. And
just to show I'm not biased here, Tony, Gabby impeded his forward movement. That's why he got a yellow. He tried to move the ball around him, and he impeded his forward progress. That was a clear yellow. Unfortunately, it was. Boy who cried wolf. Remember that. Big up Yeti every single time.
Wolfang division.
Wolfang division. He's gone. Yeah, boy who cried Yeti. Exactly, Carl. All right, let's get to the last subject. We are going to close out on this one. We're going to talk shit about Chelsea. Yeah. Can we talk about Chelsea getting relegated, please? Of course we can.
Where are they in the table, TJ? Do you have that information available?
Let's take a look. EPL table.
We love talking about these guys.
Yeah, we love talking about Chelsea on this channel, everybody. We love it. Chelsea are now currently firmly in 14th place with their only victory coming against Luton Town.
Which was what, 1-0 or 2-0?
Oh God, let me look. Let's look at their fixtures.
They've only beaten Luton
3-0. It was 3-0 at home against Luton Town.
Well, I'm going to say this, like I said before, they are our real rivals when it comes to trophy count, when it comes to stature. This may, upset some of the old schoolers who we all love. But I don't see Spurs as our rival much anymore. I mean, yeah, there are noisy neighbors, but are they really our rivals? I mean, maybe this season will define a little bit more. But Chelsea, to me, there's a part of me that hates them more than Spurs, and I don't know really why. I think it's because they've won more.
Yeah.
Welcome the underdogs. Wow. Yeah, I'm very happy to see the condition of Chelsea, and I don't think Pochettino's the one to save them. They're too many no-name players just thrown together.
Agreed. And I think they have a lot of potential in that squad. But if you're going to sign somebody for $100 million plus, like Caicedo, wouldn't you want that person to have a proven track record and not just have one good season at Brighton?
Right.
Like, obviously, you're going to pay the $100 million because that's the going rate for a top midfielder like Caicedo was last season. So obviously, his price is going to go through the roof. But there's still some learning that needs to happen there, and I really do think that Chelsea are looking to be too overhyped, and they're going to keep this form. Like, I don't think they're going to get relegated. I'm not going to take the piss. I don't think they're going to get relegated. But the people that are saying that they're going to finish top 4 this season, they need to have their fucking head examined. Like, I literally ran into a Chelsea fan. I'm not going to call him out. But I ran into a Chelsea fan yesterday that he was saying that they were going to get top 4 because they don't have to contend with European football. You guys had to go to PKs to beat AFC Wimbledon, and you're telling me you're going to get top 4? Drop me out of that entire fucking conversation.
Yeah,
Chelsea are disgusted. Chelsea are in worse straits than United are.
Well, that's to be debated. I mean, I know. You look at those two, and you just don't see anything that really lights up the imagination. Like you can look at. There was a time you could look at Chelsea on paper just a few years ago and say, yeah, that's by names and on paper, that's the best team in the world, second to maybe Madrid and Barcelona, maybe Man City, right?
Right.
Chelsea on paper look good, but they cannot play together.
Nope.
They just can't play together. It's just one guy wants to do his thing, the other guy wants to do his thing. They're relying on Enzo and his form from a World Cup to do something. They overpaid for Enzo Fernandez as well. They've overpaid for Caicedo. They overpaid for Mudryk. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And, I don't know much about Todd Bowley, but I know he likes to spend money, and he
bought a World Series. I mean, he bought a World Series for the Dodgers.
He did. And I think if he thinks that translates into a 38-game season of football, you're absolutely mistaken yourself, Mr. Bowley. Baseball, you hit the ball and you stand on the base and wait. In football, you run and run and run until you can't stand up anymore. And, the fact of the matter is names alone aren't going to get you where you want to be. The talent has to be behind the name on the shirt, right? Talent first, name second. Chelsea are buying players name first, talent second, third, or fourth in some cases. Kyle Mudryk scored 10 goals for, who was it? Shakhtar.
Shakhtar Donetsk, yeah.
19 total over 2 seasons. I think Gunnar put out those numbers before even while we were looking at them. And I'm telling you, bro, we dodged an absolute bullet with that kid. I don't think that even if he had the red and white on that he would perform, because what I've seen with us so far, there's nothing to make me think that, we're just going to scorch people. If we had Mikhail Mudryk in our team, the guy can dribble and run.
Yeah.
He can dribble and run. He can't shoot. He can't pass. He can't create space. He can't tackle.
I don't think
$88 million on a kid player that can't play football.
No, I think that there's too much YouTube compilation watching, too much Twitter watching on this one. Here to there, Chelsea fans are delusional. Look at their bench. Chelsea fans are scapegoating Poch. He's been set up to fail. Poch will not last there.
No.
Poch is not look, he did a job at Spurs. Can't deny that. But you got to look at who he had at Spurs versus Chelsea. Poch had Harry Kane.
Christian Eriksen.
Yeah, Christian Eriksen. Freaking Kyle Walker.
Lucas Moura
when he was cooking. Like, you cannot tell me that one of these things is not like the other. And I don't big up Spurs ever. But that team arguably was a lot stronger than this Chelsea one was. Like, people like to overlook just because of how much money has been spent on this Chelsea team. So obviously the expectations are through the roof, but you have to look at the name on the back of the shirt.
Right.
Okay. You have to. Caicedo was at Brighton. Okay. Like, what were the expectations at Brighton? Not high. Everybody they're playing their first European football. Ever? Like, it's one of those things where there are different levels to this thing, and people forget that. So to expect Poch and go in there and tear up trees and get him into Europe immediately, I said that wasn't going to happen. I said it wasn't going to happen. And I hate, when I'm right, and I don't really throw out the ticker tape parade all the time. But right now, it's looking like I'm right. So yeah, there are different levels to this thing. And if Chelsea fans are expecting Poch to get them into European football, they're in for a rude awakening.
But he's going to have to restructure a lot, and I don't think he has a defined starting 11. I think there's too many names, like you said, on the back to choose from, and some of those names don't have the talent along with it. Unfortunately, Mikhail Mudrik's one of them. Their defense looks shaky. I love it. I absolutely love it. But with this question here, I think Ten Hag's first to get sacked. I think Pochettino will survive for a while, but I think if Ten Hag drops another game, he could really, really, really be on the hot seat. Rams. I think 1-2 games maybe was going to predict Ten Hag's future, and if they fall to that, he ain't going to make it till December, bro. No way.
No, I agree.
No way, because when those games come in December, as you know, one after the other, it's make or break come December time around Christmas and the holidays.
You also have to remember who do you know who Man United play next, Dal?
Man City?
No, Bayern Munich.
Champions League. 6-1 incoming. They're going to get annihilated by Bayern Munich. Harry Kane's going to have a field day. That's right. They are playing Bayern. I remember hearing that yesterday. Yeah, I think out of those two, Ten Hag is definitely the one to get Bayern. Poch has time. He has time to figure out his first 11, figure out who can score goals, figure out who can pass a ball, figure out who can spell ball at Chelsea. And, keep them off social media, players flaunting their cars and their drip and all that. Yeah, that's great. Hope you're enjoying 14th, guys. Poch will get something going, but it's not going to be sustainable. There's just no way. I don't know who's going to score their goals, man. And their defense is garbage.
No, I don't. I just don't think Poch doesn't have the tools yet, and Jackson isn't the answer. I mean, and that was the conversation that we had, and that was the conversation that we were having through the preseason and through the transfer window is who is scoring these goals for Chelsea, and that is still the question that has not been answered. So, right. And I'm not even. I'm going to take the piss a little bit, but come on, guys! Like, really, you guys were expecting Jackson to go in there and rip up trees, score 20 goals, like on a hope and a prayer. Really? # hope strategy.
That was really some of the talk. Those guys at the.
It was.
20 goals for a guy that. A guy that has to play
really, you guys. With that front three for Chelsea, and I'm going in on Chelsea now, I guess. Who cares? Like, with that front three with Chelsea, are you expecting to score more than 60 goals in a season?
God, no, because Raheem Sterling.
No. Yeah. As soon as Raheem Sterling left Man City, his career is over. Like, he really hasn't done much. Really hasn't. Other than the other, the shiny game against powerhouse Luton Town,
right? Right.
Like that everybody was getting gassed up about.
Right. And
at the bridge, by the way. That wasn't at Luton. It was at the bridge.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right. Well, yeah. Still a shithole stadium. But one point I was going to make, though, is I think they brought Sterling in as a senior member of that team and to provide leadership. If you're getting leadership tips from Raheem Sterling, you are on the wrong path, my friend, Mr. Pochettino or Mr. Todd Bowley, and any of you chavs out there. It's just, I mean, like I said, Forrest owns the bridge. Yep, I agree with that. I think Brentford at least has a say in that. And I think Chelsea will even struggle against their West End friends, Fulham.
Yep.
I think Fulham are going to be a solid team because Polina is a great player, and he's the type that can keep him up, but I don't want to get in Fulham. But, TJ, Chelsea are in the mud. I'm loving it. I think they're more current rivals to us in the newer era compared to Spurs. I just love to see I love to see it. I don't know what else to say about Chelsea. I just love to see it. I truly do. I despise them to my core. I don't like what they represent. I don't like the money they spend in football. I feel like Roman Abramovich is a criminal, should have been put in jail. I don't like I don't like their songs. I don't like their fans, really. I don't like their clothes. I don't like the way they walk. I don't like the way they talk. I don't, I don't know. I despise them a little bit more in Spurs because of what they've accomplished in the last 10 to 20 years, which should have been us. Right? The shit Chelsea have got through the last 10 or 15 years, it should have been us. But we had Wenger at the helm, who was making geriatric, delusional decisions in his later years. There's a part of me that really dislikes that club, obviously, because I feel a lot of their success should have been ours. But, hey, they got Abramovich, they brought a Drogba, they got a Mourinho, and the rest is history.
Yep. All right. Well, I think it's time for us to close up shop.
This is fun, man.
It's a great time. Great time. I gotta get to the rest of my Sunday. I've literally been on the internet all day long, and my wife is like cleaning the house and shit, so I feel bad. You're gonna go.
Pitch in, TJ.
I gotta pitch in. Just a tad. I really don't have all that YouTube money yet to be like, hey, but I'm making all this money. But yeah, no. Big up everybody in the chat. Big up my guy Dal here. Dal, shout yourself out, man. Final thoughts.
Oregon Goon, check me out. YouTube Oregon Goon. Leave a like, subscribe. I'm on Twitter again just because Gunner's on there and I give him shit. TJ's the best pitch man in the business for sure. Shout out to the chat, everyone in the chat. Rams, Yeti, Tony, Luke, Steven Sauer. Big up, brother. I think Mama Flossie may have shown in there. A few names I may have forgotten, but thanks for having me on again, TJ. And overall, the game today, again, it was decent. It wasn't great. There's a lot of improvement still to be made, but I'm an old Arsenal guy. I'll take a 1-0 win any day. I'll take the points.
3 points going into the Champions League draw, everybody. Again, I'm telling you, I do not care how we get it done. As long as we get it done, a W is a W. If you expected us to go into Everton and score 4 or 5 goals, I mean, that just isn't going to happen. So it's one of those things where 3 points is 3 points. We cannot lose that game and go into PSV or go into Tottenham and with any sort of confidence. So I'm glad we got it done. Comfortable at points, not comfortable at other points. And we move on to the first Champions League match in 6 years for Arsenal on Wednesday. So again, this has been TJ Warren TV, everybody. Again, we hit 500 subs. Thank you guys so much for your support. We will announce the 500 sub show once we have a chance to talk to Connor, talk to Dal, talk to a couple of other people that we want on that show. So, obviously a Jez will need to be on there and all a Maddie. So we're going to coordinate with those guys and see when they can come on. So again, big up everybody. Make sure that you are smashing the likes. If you are disagreeing with what we have to say, put it in the comment on the video. We respond to every single comment that is put on the video on playback. So if you disagree with what we said, put it out there. We'll have a little bit of a debate in the comment section. I'm all good with that.
Yeah, if TJ can't get to the comments, I certainly will, and vice versa. So, yeah, thanks everyone. Shout out Long Hair Yeti. Thanks for the congrats, brother. You're part of the reason why we're here. You know, we love your content as well. Subscribe to Long Hair Yeti. And then one thing, I don't know if anybody knew this, but anyone who's got a chat with a little YouTube symbol next to their picture has a channel on YouTube. Please go subscribe to them, even if they don't have much content on there. Let's build the community. That little symbol next to Tony's name means he has a YouTube channel or account that you can subscribe to. I don't know what kind of content Tony does. Probably something pretty dirty and X-rated. No, just kidding, Tony. But anyway,
it's just Tony dancing. It's Tony dancing.
Tony dancing. Oh, okay. Well, that's worth it.
Tony doing the KC shuffle.
Oh my gosh, Tony Ibarra in the KC shuffle. Jesus, doing the stanky leg, Mr. Ibarra. You nasty jet. Shout out Rams. Congrats. Thousands will be there soon for sure. Thanks again, TJ. Great show. We got the win. Let's get it.
Yeah, let's get it. All right, guys. Tomorrow I will be on with the Perchy TV talking the North London Derby. We will be on. We'll be just hit the notification bell. If you're subscribed to this channel, you're watching this channel, make sure you are subscribed. Hit the notification bell. We are going to be going live throughout the week just because it is crazy North London Derby week, as well as the game with PSV. So yeah, of course, catch me over on the Perchy TV. Until then, guys, thank you again for your support, and we are out. Come on, you Gunners. Let's go.